everyone, welcome to my channel. Today's video is basically just beginner's makeup, and today what I'll be using is drugstore plus beauty supply store makeup. The first thing I'm going to start with is my NYX in the shade brown. It is basically like a pomade, and I'm just going to be using this to fill in her eyebrows. She likes her eyebrows thin, so therefore we're going to just follow her natural arch and just basically add a little color, a little fullness to them, but still keep them thin. I am going to be using Itzme Cosmetic concealer that is in the color Deep, and this is something that you would get at your local beauty supply store or Walmart. And next I'm going to go in with Cocoa just to highlight her eyebrows and give it more definition, because the Deep is very natural looking, is very close to her skin tone, so therefore it wouldn't really make her eyebrows stand out as much as the Cocoa would. So I'm going to blend these two in together. As you see, I didn't put the light concealer at all close to the inner part of her eyebrows, just so that you could see the definition. And also I just kind of move the concealer down so that way it also can be used for a eyeshadow base, so therefore I don't have to use another base. And I'm just going in and cleaning it up and making sure everything looks very nice and sharp. The next thing we'll be doing is using my Urban Decay B6 setting spray, and also my Becca Matte primer. The B6 really helps control your face and the skin tones, the different skin tones, just to make sure everything is even. And then the Becca is #1, hands down, the best primer that I have used on my face. It always makes sure I'm very matte. Next, I'll be using my Maybeliline Fit in the shade 355 as her foundation. Now, it is getting close to the summertime, so today was just like something very, very light, because when it comes time for the summer, I will not be using foundation at all. It's going to be too hot. We are in Savannah, Georgia, and it gets very, very muggy out here. So next, I'm going to go ahead and blend that foundation in with a brush. I don't really like using the beauty blender, so I'm just going to use my brush, especially when I'm doing makeup on my customers. So after that, I did show the HD Flawless setting powder by Absolute New York, which is purchased at a hair store. But I'm going to go ahead and go in with my Lacombe setting powder to set her face in, just to make sure we are keeping all of that foundation locked in. So I'm going to set her face now. Now, after I set her face, now is where I go in with my HD translucent setting powder. And this is very, very nice and like smooth. It doesn't feel heavy at all. So Absolute New York did a total great job with that. As you can see, she was kind of feeling herself a little bit. Next, we're going to go in with our eyeshadow, and I am using... Alright, for the eyeshadow, I am using the color Fair to set down just as like a base for all of the eyeshadows. The next color I'll be going in with is Jury. It's a kind of pretty dark, deep purple, kind of blackish tint with a little hint of glitter to it. It's like a purplish pink glitter. So I am using Jury for the outer crease. The next thing I will be going in with is Hush. Hush is a pretty kind of brown smoky gold, so I go on with Hush just to kind of accent it. I didn't want to go in with another dark color, so you have to bring something to kind of make it pop. After Jury, after Hush, I will be going in with Envy. Envy is a very pretty light gold color, just so that this is something for beginners. So I'm just doing something that's very nice, very easy, nothing too complicated, nothing too hard. So the next color I'm going back in with is my Fair, just to kind of blend everything out and make sure there's no harsh lines. As you can see, I go at the top of the eyebrow. The next color I'm going in with is Defy, D-E-F-Y. I believe that's how I say it. And I just added it in the inner crease, and then also I eyebrow bone, just to kind of make that eyebrow pop out. Next, I'm using a Decay liquid eyeliner pen, and I am also using The next thing I'm using is my Kiss Cat Eye. Basically, it's like a kit that came with it, and it has different shapings you can use for your eyebrows or your eyelids to create like the perfect wink or cat eye. And I'm totally working on that. That is something I struggle with very badly. But like anyone who truly loves doing what they're doing, you will become better at your craft. So as you can see, I was using that. I was using Classy to go in on her eyelids and to create that kind of classy wink look. And from there, I had to go in twice just because I messed up on one eye. So I had to create the next eye to look very similar to it, as you can see now. So next, just to make sure that it looks very defined, I'm going back in with my Cocoa to highlight her face basically. And because I felt like Cocoa was a nice shade, but it might have been a little too bright. So the next thing I do is go back in with the deep and just add like very little spots in of the deep just to blend it in together. So therefore it's not going to be too like whitish, too glowy for her, and she won't look casket sharp, because we all know some people can look very casket sharp. And these days you can't really say casket. You might as well just say very flamboyant. There you go. Give them a little spice. So what I'm doing is just basically, because I don't like to use beauty blenders on my clients because I would have to buy too many, I just blended everything in with that's actually a brush that you're supposed to use to kind of put in your setting powder. So I use that to kind of blend everything in, but I do it just like I would a beauty blender, and I pat everything in. So next we are going to bake with the Benign Nide Topaz. Now this is something you would have to purchase online, and I just put that everywhere where I highlighted her face basically, and I let that sit for about, I'm gonna say like 10 minutes maybe. We were talking, so who really knows how long it sat in for, but I'm gonna say about 10 minutes. And from here I go in with the lashes, and the lashes actually came with this Kiss Cat Eye collection, so they're very natural. Now, I do her lashes on a regular anyway, so she likes natural eyelashes, so this totally works. And usually when I do eyelashes, I always tell people to look down, so that way they're not really concentrating on me and they don't really pay attention. And I lay them directly on her eyelash hairs, not on her skin or any of that stuff, because she's not doing this just for a video. She's doing this to actually last her for a while. So now I'm going to go ahead and go in and blend in that setting powder that I had. And as you can see, everything is blended in very nicely. You don't see any harsh lines. Next, I'm going in with my BH Cosmetic. This was a new palette. I can't remember the name. I will put it down below in the description. And I absolutely love that highlighter. Love it. So I use that as her highlighter. And next, I'm going in with my NYX to use it as a contour and also for the blush, because that is everything. Yes, Lord. So she thought she wasn't going to like the contour, but she ended up liking it because it wasn't like too harsh. So we just blended everything in, and as you can see now, really with that contour, what it does is it kind of just defines your highlights and the angles of which you have it. So next I'm going in with my Kiss Perfect Perfection. It is a lip liner, and it also has a brush at the end of it. And so with that brush, I will go ahead and start blending in so that black doesn't look too harsh. I know at first she was like, what is she about to do with this black lip liner? But it's going to be a nice ombre look, and with that brush on the end, it really helps so that you can blend everything in so it's not harsh at all whatsoever. So next, I go in with a red lip liner, and I just kind of underlined it just so it wouldn't be too harsh once again. Next, I'm going in with my MAC Sin, and I believe this is a stain lipstick. So I'm going to go in with that and use that on her lips just so that it has that red, and it's kind of dark. It's not a bright red. I don't do bright reds. So this was our finished look. Hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to check back every Thursday for new videos.